Hi, my name is Jess if you don't know me, and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to find your thing or some mindset shifts that could kind of help you get there, especially when you have ADHD and you have multiple passions and you kind of don't know where to start. So to me, the way I define like my thing is something that is like a project I can work on, a creative venture, something that I just kind of want to pour my time into and focus on. And so today I'm going to just kind of talk about things that have helped me kind of find my thing. So my first tip is, especially if you have ADHD, don't fight with it. Learn how to dance with it. Because if you have ADHD, you know that 95% of the time, if you try to fight with it, you will not win. So my advice here is, if you have multiple passions or you're not sure what it is for you yet, let yourself lean into those things. Like when your mind is pulling you towards a certain area, a certain project, a certain thing, go there. Like explore it a little bit. It's okay to explore different things. You don't have to like funnel yourself into one thing because that's the seemingly neurotypical thing to do. And then once you explore different areas, like for me, I was interested in photography. I still am, but I have different interests in photography, cooking, health and wellness, video editing. I have spent time in each of these different areas and sort of hyper focusing on these different things, but they are now all part of me, and I have learned a lot about myself through letting myself explore those things. I also learned that a lot of my passions are connected in some way, and through exploring different things, I was kind of able to find themes and common threads amongst all of them of what lights me up. For me, I find that I love making people happy or giving something to other people. I love solving problems. I love figuring things out. Like with photography, it's like an entire world, and there's so much to learn about just how to take a simple picture, let alone all the different kinds of cameras and all the different ways to take a picture. And so I've learned a lot about myself just through doing that, and it was a lot of fun. And I don't think that me exploring any one of my passions was a waste of time. It's easy to kind of just sit there and kind of get stuck in thinking for a long time about what is the perfect thing, the perfect hobby, the perfect idea. And you're never gonna get anywhere by just thinking about it, because oftentimes what you think that you like is very different from reality, and sometimes you discover things that you had no idea that you would like love doing just because you kind of fell into it along your path. You will definitely be light years ahead of somebody by failing more than they have ever tried. And really, like, what failing is there to do here, honestly? Like, I think even me, it's just easy to think that like, oh, like it's gonna be a waste of time, or if it didn't lead to something bigger and better, then it was not worth it. But everything is worth it. Every little thing you do is worth it and worth your energy and worth exploring. My next tip is to accept that you won't have all the answers when you're looking for them. Just because you sat down with your notebook or your computer and you decided today's the day I want to figure my whole life out doesn't mean you're going to. And it's okay. And this goes back to what I was saying about trying and constantly exploring, because that is how you'll get your answers over time. The path will reveal itself as you keep doing things, but you're never gonna find your true answer unless you try. You know, especially if you have ADHD, you'll wanna know like right now. Like, the impatience is crazy, but that's not how this is gonna work, and you have to kind of hold your own hand and just accept it. And once you accept it, you feel so much more free. You feel like you're not so tied to like having to know all the time, and that's okay. You're not supposed to know all the time. My last sort of mindset shift tip here is to learn how to trust yourself. And this can be hard, and it is a skill that you have to learn over time. But if you have ADHD, this can be really hard, because if you're anything like me, you pick up a project and then you drop it, and then you pick up another project and then you drop it. and then you don't really know how to differentiate what is actually something that you want to lean into versus something you're just hyper focused on for the moment. But again, back to what I said about constantly trying, because this helps you to identify patterns in your behavior, and it also helps you to know your ADHD. And just because you're interested in something one day and then another day the light turns off, that doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. And sometimes it's just a lack of dopamine, and it's just one of those days where you just kind of can't get yourself to do something, and that's okay. But it takes knowing yourself really well to be able to identify that. You have to be able to know when something is actually lighting you up, or you're doing it out of expectation of other people. And this is where constant reflection comes in, and having a daily reflection habit is really important. I recommend journaling if you can, as often as you can, because it helps you kind of piece together this journey of yours and not really going so blindly about it. You're not just seeing something sparkly and running towards it blindly. The whole point here is to lean into it, but to observe yourself, to learn yourself, and identify patterns of your behavior. And part of trusting yourself is kind of just being able to hold your own hand and sort of walk yourself through something, sort of like gentle parenting yourself through a situation, and knowing that you'll be there for yourself, for your inner child, when something goes wrong and you don't know what to do, or when you're confused and you don't know what the next step is. Being there for yourself is a skill. Self-love is a skill, and unfortunately a lot of us don't really know that, or know how to do that so easily, and it takes a lot of practice. But the more you can love on yourself, the more you can lean on yourself and be kind to yourself when situations are confusing and difficult and you feel lost, the more you develop that self-trust, because you know that you'll be there for yourself and kind of give yourself a guiding hand when you need it. If you couldn't tell, my main point I would like to drive home here is to try and try and try, and don't ever give up, and don't let lack of self-trust stop you. Don't let your ADHD stop you. Sometimes a lack of dopamine does not equal fact. Sometimes a lack of dopamine is just a lack of dopamine, and you gotta just work with it. Like, it's not gonna be consistent every day. Your energy won't be consistent every day. Your interest in something won't be consistent every day. But it's important to know yourself. It's important to keep doing all of these things and keep leaning into these projects and leaning into these different areas of your life, because then you learn about yourself, you learn your patterns, you learn how you are, you see what lights you up. And again, important to do constant reflection through all of this, because all of that will go to waste if you're not looking back and actually taking in your experience with things, because sometimes the answers will present themselves, and if you're not doing constant reflection, you're not going to be able to see it. You have to train your mind to be able to see opportunities and answers and a path for yourself. Again, you're not going to have all the answers, but it's a journey, and you have to learn how to enjoy the journey and enjoy the trying and enjoy learning yourself and loving yourself. So I really hope that helped, and if you like the video, you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.